Hey, how's it going, everyone? So, I figured let's go nostalgic and let's rank the Disney Channel original movies from 97 to 2010. Now, I want to preface that I have not seen all of these. That's why there's a category for haven't seen. But let's get right into this. So, I'm not going to really mention the ones that I haven't seen. I'll just kind of put them there as I go along, and we'll talk about the ones that I have seen. So let's get to it. Because there's a lot. There's a lot of these to go through. All right, Brink. A, and I'm going to say this a lot. It's a classic. I enjoyed this. It really, I want to say, in a way, put rollerblading on the map for younger kids. Maybe not me specifically. I rollerbladed a little bit for probably I don't know, maybe a month or two when I was I gotta think here, maybe around like 10 to 13, around that age, something like that. But it's a good movie. Not the greatest, but definitely an enjoyable watch. So I'm gonna put it at C. Pretty much right down the road, right down the middle of the road. Halloween Town is A. Um, Watching this as an adult, I realized this movie isn't great, but it's all the nostalgia. It's one of those movies that I watch at Halloween because it's a classic and I love it. Xenon is another one that is just overall enjoyable and good and nostalgic, and I like it. I like the space theme. Um, Kirsten Storms, I believe it's Raven Simone. That's all I can really name as far as the cast goes. But I really enjoy Xenon. Can of Worms, surprisingly, have not seen. The 13th Year. So this one is weird and interesting at the same time. It's about a guy who realizes that he's been adopted by his father that he thought was his real father. And he finds out that he's a mermaid. And when he turns 13, I think he has to go back to sea or something like that. Either way, odd movie, but still good. I wouldn't say eh. This one is more like swerve out of the way if, let's say, Brink is on the screen instead, you know, but it's not bad overall. Smart House. Smart House is an interesting one. I'm going to put it at C. It was ahead of its time, but it, the the main character is very like in charge and in control, and I feel like if the dynamic with the family was just a little bit tweaked and a little bit different, it would have been better. Johnny Tsunami. I might get a little bit of hate for this one, but it's good, but it's not that good. That's all I want to really say about it. Genius. Haven't seen. Don't Look Under the Bed. Okay, so this one is an interesting one. I remember seeing this when it came out, and I was one of those kids back in the day where I'd watch a movie and it would be just on. I'd watch it and I wouldn't look at the title, and that was for a decent amount of films. And so when I saw this movie, I thought it was really good. And then years passed by and it came into my head again, but I didn't read the title, so I didn't know what the movie was. So thanks to Google, I was able to basically just type in like the description of the movie based off of memory, and it came up. But back on subject, Don't Look Under the Bed is probably like a C. Um, it's it's interesting. That's about it. Phantom of the Megaplex. Okay, so I personally love this film just because it's it's spooky and it's interesting and it's sort of a whodunit. All those sort of mixed in makes for a good movie in my eyes. Uh, the acting could have been better, but it's one of those things where yeah, I mean, you get what you get, I guess, and Mickey Rooney's in it. So can't complain with Mickey Rooney's in a movie. Come on. Okay, Alley Cats, strike or first strike, I don't know. This one, I'm just gonna put at D. I have seen it. It's been a long time, probably since when it first came out, and so I can't really say much about it. And yes, there's a lot of movies that I have not seen. Quint was one that was, um, I feel like it was better on paper, and then it was executed differently. It's all right. Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire. Okay, so this one is good because it's another Halloween one. You kind of notice the comparisons. Halloween Town, Phantom of the Megaplex, and Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire. Anything to do with Halloween and Disney, I'm on board. This movie, no different. Xenon, is this the sequel? Or yeah. Either way, both Xenons were great. Love them. Motocross is another one I haven't seen in a long time. I don't remember much about it, but I'll definitely put it above these. I think it had to do with the fact that it was, a different type of sport that a lot of kids, maybe didn't know about again. And so that's why I got like Brink and Motocross on the same point. Luck of the Irish. So the Luck of the Irish is enjoyable. I like the effects that they did to make them short. I'm sure they were simple, but it really, proved the point that like he's getting shorter because he's turning into a leprechaun. Halloween 2, Calabar's Revenge. Terrible. Not a good sequel at all. It's the only thing I can say is that it's so bad that it's good. So if you haven't seen Halloween 2, give it a watch because you're going to laugh at this movie and how ridiculously bad it is, but at the same time, it's great. Double Teamed, D tier. Don't remember much about it. Have seen it, but it is all right. Cadet Kelly. This is another one that I feel like a lot of girls like to talk about because it's got what's her name? She played Lizzie McGuire. I can't remember. Either way, decent. Get a Clue with Lindsay Lohan. D. Let's move on. Sorry if it feels like I'm going fast. It's because I am. I should have probably put all of these in before. Okay, Right on Track looks like another twin movie or sister movie. Just gonna put it at D. I have seen it. It's been a while. The Even Stevens movie. Okay, so I remember the show more than I do the movie, but I remember the movie being good. Very goofy and stuff like that. And that's, I think, the appeal with Even Stevens. Eddie's Million Dollar Cook-Off. Again, good, but not like these movies. Cheetah Girls, I'm not going to say I've seen it because I remember the show. Pixel Perfect, that's got to be a newer one. Haven't seen it. Z3. Where do I have Xenon? Top 2. We'll put Z3 at like C. It's the third movie. She's obviously maybe not significantly older, but I'd say like in the first one, she was probably 12, 13. The third one, she's got to be pushing 17, maybe 18 years old. Um, and I feel like each movie that goes on, the quality gets just a little bit worse and worse. But yeah. Stuck in the Suburbs, more of a girl movie, but we'll give it a D. Halloween Town High, where do I have two at an F? Okay, so Halloween Town High, let's put it at C. I liked the plot and the premise of it, where the portal to Halloween Town is open to the mortal world, Jesus. And so they're bringing sort of people from Halloween Town disguised as exchange students so they can sort of experience the mortal world for the first time, and specifically in high school. It's a great premise, great plot, but it's whatever you make of it. Now You See Me. So this is, or Now You See It. This is one of those movies that I actually like. I planned out my week. So Disney Channel original movies, just to give you sort of an idea, it was basically a brand new movie. I don't remember what day of the week it was, but it was at 7 o'clock Central Time where I lived. And it was, let's say like on I think it was actually on like a Friday. So Friday night, 7 o'clock, they've got a new Disney Channel original movie. And I don't know if they're pumping these out once a week for a certain amount of years, or, once a month. I don't know how they did it, but they were pumping these out like crazy, as you can tell from all of them. And Now You See It was one of those where I planned my sort of week out. So I was watching, I don't know, let's say it was like Xenon, like the third one that night. They would have previews and show like, oh, this is like just a little teaser for the next week's movie, and it was Now You See It. And when I saw the teasers, I'm like, oh, that looks really fucking good. And so I got to make sure that I see this. And I remember like 30 minutes before, like having Disney Channel on, and then, watched it, and it was good. Buffalo Dream. Is that Buffalo Dreams? No idea. Kim Possible movie. I remember the show. Go figure. Life is Rough. Oh my gosh. Proud Family. Twitches. Okay, so Twitches, we're gonna put at D. It's alright. High School Musical. C. Cowbells. D. These are just some of these that I'm not really talking about because I'm at a time constraint. Return to Halloween Town. So this is where they recasted, what's your name? Kimberly J. Brown. Or is it? Yeah. Return to Halloween Town. It's all right. It's whatever. Better than the sequel. Not as good as High, but the recast kind of bugged me for a little bit, but then I got over it. It's like, whatever. Let them do what they want. I'm noticing I haven't seen a lot of these films. I apologize. High School Musical 2, we will put in a D. Not as good as the original. Twitches 2, I vaguely remember it, so we're going to put it at D. It's whatever. Minutemen, have not seen. Camp Rock, surprisingly, haven't seen. Dad Napped, weird. Hatching Pete. The Wizards of Waverly Place movie. We'll put at a C. I thought it was good. I like the show more, but it was fun that they did a film. And the last one, Starstruck, F, big stinker. So let me just start recap. So, Halloween Town, the Xenon movies in general are great. Luck of the Irish is good. Phantom of the Megaplex, I feel like, is an underrated gem that I think a lot of people will thoroughly enjoy. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Do you agree with my tier list, even though I've seen half of the original movies? If you enjoyed, hit the subscribe button. We are close to 1,000 subscribers, which is absolutely incredible. And I will see you guys in the next video.